Guys, thanks for the mentions in the comments. And wow, that human woman presenter. Gosh, human women can be so beautiful, but we must remember we cannot all look like her. But we can all try and be good to each other. Peace, not war. Like and subscribe.
Suns rise on the field, drums beat through the chill, armor shines in the light, faces ready to fight. War cries fill the air, echoes everywhere, hearts made of steel, this is how we feel. Battle calls our name, we are all the same. Stand up strong and free, rising sun will see.
A few miles from eastern Moscow, the approaching Ep17 split into three fronts. The main body staying in full frontal approach, panning out as if ready for a cavalry-like charge, 5 deep supported by their hovering escort craft. The other 2 columns each move to the north and south sides of the city. On the Russian front line, a Russian soldier radios back to his commanders.
Sir, hostile unknowns deploying pincer movement.
Pincer movement? Aliens deploying a pincer movement, using typical Nazi tactics.
Accompanying commander.
Looks like these damn fascists are the same wherever you go.
Or Hitler was ahead of his time. Let's hope it ends the same way.
He gives an order down the radio.
Get all armor waiting in Moscow City Square to cover northern and southern perimeters immediately. Instruct all conscripts in the city center to take up partisan positions. If the front line is breached on all fronts, it'll be a walkover. Air Marshal, I think we're going to need the MiG-29.
I'm right on to them now.
The heavy armor kept in Moscow city center as reserves now trundle north and south. On the eastern front, a whole front line of Ep17 escort craft slowly rise to 100 feet, then start moving forward toward the city. The Russian commanders now have visual contact.
Air Marshal, how long for the MiG-29?
Estimated time 3 minutes. Our front line will collapse without air support.
Surface-to-air batteries should be able to hold them till then.
At present, that is not known.
Our SAMs need to be deployed now. We use them or lose them.
Very well. Fire at your readiness.
Air Marshal gets on his radio.
Open up with the surface-to-air weapons. Fire at will.
With that, the surface-to-air missiles are launched.
Open up with the artillery.
The suddenness of the Russian assault catches the Ep17 out. Several craft take direct hits and they disintegrate.
Say, they're disintegrating on impact.
Looks like we won't be getting much of their tech captured.
Let's just win first. The MiGs have yet to take their toll.
But there is an immediate counter-response from the other Ep17 craft. Electromagnetic pulse beams are sent out to the Russian front line. They are jamming all electronics, rendering most of the heavy weapons useless. Even the tanks now are unable to function. Then, laser beams engulf the Russians. They appear to turn the stone into ground. The Russian World War II-style artillery still keep firing. Howitzers and machine guns fire to make stand. The X and T go all out and destroy all hostile fire that is and start destroying buildings from where Russian fire comes from. The X and T blast their way onto the city. Russian commanders amongst the rubble. A few brave Russian soldiers stay at the howitzers and try and keep pounding Are destroyed by laser weapons.
Where's those damn MiGs? What's wrong with the SAM batteries?
Electronic jamming. They are deploying some sort of false technology.
Just then, the roar of MiGs starts filling the air. High up in the sky, the commander of the MiG squadron looks down at the scene below.
Prime weapons. Let's get them.
Each pilot banks away sharply, each targeting an escort craft, trying to get a weapons line. The X-Sentai craft puts out a jamming beam upwards. It's too late for the Russian pilots as they try to unleash their weapons.
Darn. Nothing. They've jammed us.
Worse than that, the aircraft are now in a dive without any power to pull out.
Ah, we're going down.
The MiG's nose dive into the ground, some trying to target the escort craft in a last attempt to destroy their targets. In the chaos that ensued, the second wave of MiGs have not been informed of the danger they are about to face. However, the squadron leader decides to send a section of his squadron around and in from behind enemy advancing line. They fly in a row, onto the front and to the rear of the X-Sentai in an attempt to confuse the enemy. But this is a carefully crafted enemy force, and the X-Sentai are not tricked at all. The X-Sentai jamming beams go up in both directions. Not only do the MiG's weapons fail, but the aircraft themselves become an enemy of Moscow as they smash into the city, causing more carnage. Pilots ejecting into the furnace that Moscow is turning into.
Make ready the infantry.
The Russian infantry rolls with their machine guns.
Completely mechanical weapons, right?
Yes, sir.
We'll make sure every last one counts.
The X-Sentai foot soldiers line up in a row, slow at first, then speed up into a jog. The Russians open up fire. X-Sentai put up their shields. Bullets are bouncing off as the Russians start lobbing hand grenades at the alien advance. The grenade shockwave knocks some of the aliens over, opening up gaps in their lines, allowing bullets through, killing some X-Sentai. They keep coming. The Russians fire shoulder-launched weapons, bazookas, flamethrowers. But the X-Sentai keep coming, some in friends, others staggering to the ground silently. Row after row, till the Russians are completely overwhelmed by numbers. Then it's hand-to-hand shield-to-weapons fighting. And it's brutal. The Russian front line is soon breached on all fronts. The Russians retreat back into the city center, fighting all the way, taking losses. Armed Russian civilians fire from buildings, but heat-seeking grenades are sent into the building by the X-Sentai, and more carnage ensues. The Russian forces now retreat to around the Kremlin as a last stand. The X-Sentai and their escort craft close in blasting their way through opposition. Inside the Kremlin, the Russian president stands watching at the window with an advisor. Advisor.
It's time to leave now, President. The battle for Moscow is all but lost.
The battle is lost, but not the war.
Yes, sir. Russia will win in the end. Sir, we must make haste. The underground passage leads a mile away. A helicopter awaits you. There is an electric boogie to take us to it.
The president smiles.
Electric, I hope, and not electronic.
No, sir. It's electric. We must go now, sir.
The jamming made even the hotline go down, and so has the printer. There is a coder in the next room. Send this message to allies.
Yes, sir. Quickly, please.
Moscow has fallen. President requests his evacuation. Give them the Dodgers' coordinates. I will not leave till you join me, Alexei.
Yes, sir. Right away.
With that, they all make their way down the secret passageway. quietly rises up and heads toward the remote and secret dodges.
This was our first battle for our hybrids. I watched via our galactic cruisers. It was a walkover against the frail forces of those humans. We will conquer Earth, and after that, who knows what our next quest will be. There is a way to stop us, and that offer will be on the table at a time of my choosing.
Yeah. So they were all gung-ho, and when the threat comes in, they get routed. Suppose the excuse is they don't have robots. Well, you know what set of those Dwight D.F. fancy pansy robots they gonna get their butts kicked. We soon see. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned.